Yo guys, Boomer here and welcome back to another Rocket League video. Obviously I'm sure you guys have seen the title. So yeah, me and my team got to play against Gen G Mobile 1 Racing for a day 2 spot through upper bracket. I finally fixed my desync issue within the game, so it's been really fun to finally be able to compete. It was a really enjoyable few games, and I've always had Appjack on my list of pros that I wanted to play against, so it's a nice little milestone to check off on my RL career sheet, so we'd love to see it. Anyway, I'm going to be going over the replays, kind of give you guys what I was thinking in the moment, and showing you guys the difference between 3 SSL players versus 3 RLCS professionals. I'm sure every high-level Rocket League player would want to know how you would stack up against an entire RLCS team, and what that skill gap looks like. So yeah, before we get into that, I just want to remind you guys that I am a daily streamer over on Twitch. If you guys want to talk to me or ask me questions in real time, go ahead and check it out. I will leave the link in the description below. Without further ado, let's hop right in. Alrighty, so we got the first game of the series. I just want to talk about a few things my team and I were working on beforehand in scrims and the 2 series before. I really wanted to laser focus turning our defense into offense and transitioning through the infield. Essentially, if you guys want to think about what you have to do to pull players out of position, you want to force them to cover a pass option. It's a consistent way to pull players out because you're also threatening something, right? Either a pass back or maybe even a shot. And of course, in 3v3, you guys want to be working as a team to either begin that game of attrition in the final third of the pitch or break down the defense, whether that be managing and controlling resources, which in Rocket League is the boost. But yeah, we really did well on our scrims before this with that, so it would have been a good test to see what we could have done versus a pro team. I'm not going to spoil the results. I'll just kind of go into each play and break down why things happen. But yeah. I mean, a lot of people were asking me if I was nervous to play against First Killer. I've had these questions a lot on stream, and I don't really get nervous playing against pros or even in these type of moments. I'm not sure if that's because I was an athlete before, so playing in front of crowds and stuff kind of feels natural to me. And at the end of the day, they're just other players trying to play, you know? So I'm just out here trying to compete and play to the best of my ability. So already off the rip, you can see we concede one right off the very first kickoff of the game. We have a backflip from Monkey, and AV is not able to get the touch over first, so first is just waiting for it. Now, me and Jack are kind of both here, you know, waiting for the spill. I'm trying not to give first a free ball because it's obviously dangerous. And Jack sees what I'm doing and immediately goes to block me off of challenging first, and obviously this enables first to do what first does best. Gets a little 1v1 for Sunky, sets Jack up for a goal. And yeah, that's the first goal. Literally 9 seconds into the game. We love to see it. There's a lot of things where I felt like we were just a little too jumpy, like this for example. You know, I'm expecting Chronic to do something crazy, but I mean, he ends up just leaving the ball for first, and then I end up backflipping, so I can't really force first. AV covers for me really quickly. Okay, gets the free ball. At least in this first game, I felt like we did a very, very poor job of managing our resources. We were moving through our defense slow and patient, and majority of the time, this results in them demo chasing or just taking our boost. Right, because we're not really working together to get the ball out of defense and move it up the field or looking for each other. So you can see there are sometimes where they kind of back off of us and we're able to break out just a little bit, but our attacks in their final third are very, very, very short. Because obviously they break out and transition very, very quickly. So you can see even here, like we don't have a follow-up. I've used all my boost for this touch. They play a one-touch extension, which Unky then jumps for even though he's backwards, and AV's kind of left in a tough spot, which we did go over these last night, and I think we all agreed AV should have just tried to hit this as hard as he could because that gives me the opportunity to try to play the cut for him, but Jack's just going to punish that every time, right? What else can you expect from professionals other than the clinical finishing? I don't know. I don't think at any point we thought we were going to, you know, take the series off of them. I think we just wanted to go in and play the best we could. I don't think either of the boys were nervous either. I think they were just wanting to have fun, which at the end of the day, you should be having fun when you play this game, right? I think it's one of the things people kind of forget, especially in when you're playing competitively. Obviously, it can be rough sometimes and whatnot, but it's a game at the end of the day. A little mistouch from me. So this is like what I'm talking about. This play before is just, I remember in this moment we kind of lack on the information comms. So like here I'm kind of asking, is there one here? Is there one here? Because I'm kind of relying on my teammates behind me to tell me. And I can't even get the touch that I want. And Chronic sees this. He sees how slow I'm playing this to the defense. And if you look at it from the other player's POV, it's just too easy to know what I'm gonna do right here. Then we have a dink touch out. AV can't really follow it. Jack's there to cut it out. And then I just have a miss. And I don't think First ever thought I had this in the first place. Just because I would imagine he has an inner clock for this type of thing. So if this is not already getting cleared off of Jack's touch right here, First is probably thinking I'm going too slow to it, which I was. And it's definitely not the bounce that I thought it was going to be. So misplay by me. I could have just waited an extra second too, and the ball probably would have just came to me. I feel like you kind of rush things because obviously professionals play at a certain pace. So you want to try to match that, and then we just concede a dumb kickoff goal. But yeah, I was saying I feel like you want to match the pace of the professionals most of the time, when in reality, you should be playing at your own pace or even setting the pace for the game. So we were definitely getting tossed like a salad this game for sure. And obviously you can see we just don't have the resources to work. So anything we have forward is not really threatening whatsoever. We just can't get anything cooking. And I mean, our comms were on point. We're coming everything. Like even here, I'm telling Unky, First is behind you. You gotta speed it up. Luckily, he doesn't get demoed there. It's also difficult to make cuts and win strong challenges, because I mean you can get the one challenge on the ball, but if there's no follow-up, this is what happens most of the time. So you can see they have all the boosts. Jack is pre-jumping it. Chronic is staying in front of the cut. So I can't really jump. I can't really get my pass off. So I'm literally just driving here. It's very difficult when you don't have the resources to work. The first game was definitely very, very tough for us. I think we did much, much better in the second game for sure. You can see all of our opportunities just get snuffed out. And they move to the midfield very quickly. And it's always like a two-headed spear, right? Which is what you want your offense to look like. The security men at the back. We did have our opportunities for sure. I just don't think we had enough boost to do anything more. And we finally get I think this is our first attack where all of us have a decent amount of boost. But okay, never mind. Unky still is having to grab pads. You can see majority of the game they have the boost advantage, so we're just kind of waiting. That's such a low percentage shot. But I wish I would have took my time looking back at it. Both my teammates are there. There's no follow-up from the other team. First is too far to cut, and Jack's chilling in the net. I probably could have popped it and just tried to get one of them up, rather than just ripping a shot. I mean, they just end up pinching it back and we get the possession. This is our first, attempt at a play. We get a little pass. It's immediately snuffed out. They're there on the counter again, working together. This one was unfortunate too. I was confident I was going to get a 50, but I'm not sure if Unky thought I was going to pinch or what, but he ends up just driving past the ball. We had a lot of spills like this in the mid that, oh my, and then First almost slots that on us. I think AV, we talked about this too. He wasted his boost here, and there's not really any threat. He kind of just doesn't know where to be right here, and he makes the save a lot harder for himself. Now you can see we have the options. They've left the mid open, but we just can't get anything to work for us. But I think by this time we were just trying to get a consolation goal, make it a respectable game, I feel like we were definitely not being taken seriously this game, which I don't blame the other team because we're not doing anything dangerous or threatening, right? They have a 4-goal lead that they can just sit on, and this was also an open net that I missed, which is very unfortunate. My inner clock for this is just because I saw Jack right there. You know, Jack just went for this, so my inner clock in my head is just going off right here when I see 2 of them in the corner. And I was like, damn, I could have just slotted that if I took an extra second. It's very unfortunate. And I also think that First and Chronic were probably not playing as aggressive as I know they most likely can. Like, I feel like a lot of people would imagine they would just be spamming mechanical plays all over the place, but that wasn't the case. They did do a lot of sidewall reads. I will say that. They love to do their sidewall reads for sure. And it's just funny because they don't miss. Yeah, and we almost get a pity goal at the end there. And that is the end of the first game. So yeah, not pretty whatsoever. But I'll move on to the second game, and it's a little more impressive, a little more. All right, on to game 2. So this game, I was telling my team, I was like, look, we gotta work together more. And if we start bleeding, we can't continue it. You know, like, you gotta stop the bleeding as quick as possible. Just focus on your touches. I had to go for the cuxer, okay? I had to try it once. Like, you gotta respect it, bro. And the setup is awful, by the way, so I just end up giving the ball for free. First time has a free mech play there because of me. Like, even here where we're taking our time, like, somebody told me Jack was up, so I'm taking my time for the 50 here, trying to distribute out to the mid. So here, another thing I realized we were lacking in the first game is kind of this midfield presence. So if I kind of go up and show you guys, I'm basically lurking around this box area. So, you know, obviously in case there is a shooting opportunity for the other team or a threat, I can be there to either get in the way of it or just cut it out, you know. So I ended up just bumping into Chronic there on his shot. Sorry, I am messing up with the buttons. So here you can see we get 2 out in the corner. We get a distribution pass into the infield. I just played the beat here, but I'm not sure why our attack fizzles out like this. I was kind of hoping AV or Unky would have stayed for this, just because it is a threatening, like, touch for the other team. I feel like we definitely could have had a shot opportunity here. First turns around really quick to cut it. I think Unky was just a little too far, and he ends up going, and First just hits it around him. So what could have been a good opportunity for us just fizzles out and ends up being a counterattack goal. Those are really frustrating to concede in a competitive match like that, especially when you have comms, right? The comms are there to prevent that exact thing from happening. So I don't know, maybe a little bit nervy of a chow from us. A little double commit from us too. I think we had a little miscommunication there. I think it was a late comm. I much would rather prefer you guys have the comms with these videos, but I could not record my game yesterday. I really wanted to take it seriously and just be locked in the entire time. So, I mean, this game I was trying to make sure that we just didn't get scored on like this. So, something that's very, very difficult to deal with is they would do this type of thing a lot, where one of them would do like their mech play and kind of just leave it for the dude behind. And you can see I barely get around Jack here. I saved my flip just so that I can kind of get around him and then make the save. Like, this is where I'd really want our distribution touch to be better, right? Because we've just gotten 2 out of the play successfully. And First is pushed up very, very close here. So I feel like if AV was, you know, kind of in a better spot maybe, or here earlier, he doesn't have to rush this touch from First. And he could just, I mean, I think this is the correct decision in this moment. But First realizes the situation, and he cuts out the threatening touch for them immediately. I mean, even here, like they have a double cut, right? So it's almost like a 2v2 play in a sense, because they have two players who disrupt the counterattack immediately, and then we're kind of just caught out here. They end up missing an open net. I'm not sure what happened there. I think he was just... Jack was a little too close there. So again, we're trying to just like gain control of this. We have another opportunity here. And you can see they're just... They recover so fast, right? As you would expect. So even after the overcommits from them, they have somebody in the cut, and then they also have somebody to cover the shot. Ooh, was that a close opportunity right there? Ooh, I don't know. I feel like if he shot it the other way, Jack definitely would have had it covered. But it's this type of cohesion that you would expect from a pro team. This one was kind of weird. I think Chronic like pull shots first into this. I was like, oh. I didn't really know what to do. So obviously I'm keeping tabs on everybody. I'm giving information comms here. So this is what I mean by the sidewalls. Like, they were crazy with their sidewalls. I remember on Widow's stream, actually, we went and watched the VOD, and she was like, oh my god. I don't think anyone expected me to save that one. Okay, so another one where we could have broke out into the counter. I was kind of hoping it would be dropped down to me, so that I could just play it into the space here for Unky. But you can see that Jack is watching me the whole way. And this is kind of what I meant by forcing the pass option, right? Because they don't really know how much boost I have in this moment. Unless somebody's actually kept tabs on me. I'm still on an option in this play. And you can see either First or Jack are watching the mid here. So if it's on... if it's a better ball for Jack, he's going to go. If it's a better ball for First, he's going to go, right? So, but they're both there to cover that exact option. And we just have a counterattack again. We have to make another save. I want to see what happens here. So I should be prioritizing recovery. I don't know why I'm flipping to the other side of the field. I think AV's kind of just under the ball, and it looks like Unky pre-jumps Chronic here. Which, I mean, he's third. It's definitely very, very risky to be doing that. Luckily, we make it back in time to stop First from shooting. So you can see even after like the save here, the first thing I'm prioritizing is I kind of see Chronic flip away here. So my thought is just get this ball to AV as quick as possible, and then hopefully he can get it back to me. Which, it was a good play, but we talked about this. He was trying to hit it, into my path, and I thought he was hitting it down just next to me, but still almost a good counterattack play. This is what I'm talking about, though. Like, we look like Grand Champ 1s in this lobby compared to the professionals, right? They just pick... Not only do they... I mean, we can pick the right decisions. We can pick the good decisions, too, but the execution of it is much more dangerous, right? Like, come on. What am I going to do in that spot, bro? First dunking on my head. So you get a nice little extension touch. He takes one touch. He's looking at the defensive setup, which our defense is non-existent. We have no one to force for me. I am all alone, so he just gets one reset, scoop over the top, double tap. And you can see from my view, because I'm coming back so fast, I have to do a little break tap. Just in case he goes for an immediate flip here. But then by the time he scoops over, it's too late for me to jump, so in my net. It's a perfect play from First. I mean, try to keep it respectable, but like, I mean, this is like, bruh. In my head, I'm like, this is hitting the bar and bouncing down. So I was trying to clear it to like the corner, and then it literally hits like the front part of the crossbar. And I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, screw me, bro. And obviously, I don't know if Jack thinks I had it or what, or if he's intentionally leaving it for his teammates. But either way, this is brutal to watch. But at the same time, like I said, we were still having fun, man. Our first 2 series were... I think the second team that we played also knew that Gen G was like the next team up if they had beaten us, because they all had Gen G decals on. So I think they were preparing to play against Gen G, and let's go! We got a goal! So we have... Let's see how this play develops. We have a whiff from AV versus trying to get a shot in there. I see Jack like turning for this, so I just end up waiting and let him touch it into me, and then I don't know why they overcommit here. I'm not sure where Chronic was. Yeah, I mean, he was just a little close to Jack there while first was overcommitted. So, I mean, good job for Monkey to just put that bottom left. Oh, I remember being so upset about this. Like, very, very rare opportunity where you get an isolated 1v1 in a threes game, right? And obviously, I'm not sure if I could have saved that penny. This is where like the very tiny things become important to me. Because I felt like I was a little threatened by maybe a demo play, but it could have been AV that I was hearing. I don't really remember what the comms were, but they definitely let me know that I had a 1v1. And instead of just shooting this, I go for the stupidest reset of my life right here. I honestly wish I just jumped and forced a shot, you know, to the far side, which, I mean, first definitely has covered if I do shoot that side. So, I mean, in my head, I was thinking I'm going to pre-flip a reset and then scoop it again. But if you guys pay attention, I missed a single wheel on this, which is like really, really unfortunate. It is my back right wheel, so the wheel closest to our camera. So you can see how I get into this reset, and this doesn't give it to me. So I'm like spamming A here to try to flip. And I'm not sure if first thought I had it or not. I mean, he postures like it looks like I have it, so I don't know. I don't feel like he was threatened in that moment, to be honest. They moved to the transition. We ended up getting a free ball. I'm trying to keep it to myself, but I ended up getting a reset. Again, I don't know if I was trying to get like a skimmer or what, but I ended up getting the reset there, but not on the one before. So I was like, damn it. And then I ended up taking a detrimental 50 because unfortunately it just hits it back into my path. And then I'm basically passing the ball to first. So AV has to rush to cover that. So in terms of what we do with our possessions, it looks really, really bad if you compare it to the professional team. It's like, what else would you expect, right? They're pros for a reason. So even here, we're just trying to fight for the possession. I kept calling like left here, but I think I told AV not to because I heard somebody over here. So I think Jack was watching me at the time. Yeah. So I think I just told AV to go himself. This is another miscommunication between me and AV. I think we both were kind of in a similar spot, and we both called right for Monkey, and then it just ends up going to nowhere. So things we can work on, definitely our comms and our positioning needs to be way better. And again, we get another 2v2 opportunity here. AV into transition, and I was kind of telling him he had an option. Even if we do use this option, I think they'd have to literally pass around first. Like potentially like AV just passes the ball or maybe even drives it. I don't know. It's kind of hard because they have a two-layered defense. So even if this pass goes this way, I think first turns, then maybe we get a pass back. But then Jack still has net covered. So I think AV decided to just flick here, which to be fair, he did put a good shot on target, but it's going to be saved when there's two people, right? So here we actually get a rare like spilled touch from Genji. So I'm trying to immediately lay the pressure down. I end up hitting the bar, get first up. And Jack is so much quicker to this follow-up, which is something you'll notice, right? AV doesn't really have boost to jump for it, but Jack just ends up waiting for the touch. He turns up, grabs a reset, and then he's immediately turning around and trying to put a threat on our net. So in terms of what they can do in transition, because they're all very, very talented solo players, we struggle to even create something with our team. Meanwhile, they can create something with just one player, right? That's something that's very dangerous. So you can see here, I'm on a little boost. We try to get a little pass play in, but again, we're shooting on a net that has 2 keepers. And this is exactly what you'd expect again. You have a 2-layered defense. They have someone covering the high, someone covering the low. So unless AV gets his bump on first here, it's most likely not going to be a goal. And Chronic even had it covered as well, so they just have everything covered. Which tells me we're not making them uncomfortable enough, and we are not doing a good job of pulling them out. So, oh no. So again, I've missed 2 open nets. I missed the open net in the first game, and I missed this one. I remember this moment they were saying open, and I decided for some odd reason that instead of using my free air roll, which I'm comfortable with, I decided to use air roll right. Which, like, for those of you guys that don't know, I play claw, and my index finger is not on R1. So I literally had to take my claw orientation off and put my index finger on R1 just to miss a shot. It's not a copage pack. I just don't know why the hell I'm trying to use my arrow right. But I mean, either way, I think it had to have been a perfect bottom left. Otherwise, Jack most likely has it covered. Because you can see supersonic all the way through his turn. So it's definitely a doable shot because they all overcommitted. But those are the ones that suck to miss. Open nets are the hardest. And I was not expecting a fake here, but it looks like Chronic jumps on a little boost. So in the moment I was like, I'm going to touch once off backboard, or I think I called a 50 or something, but he ends up not touching it, and then that causes me to miss it. And it just ends up being free for Unky, so I'm not sure what the comms are like on their side of things, but I'd be pretty interested to hear what they were saying in the moment. And very nice bounce shot from Unky. I'm not sure if first was he's still on the recovery, so those are always going to be difficult to react to. So the 2 goals that we got were overcommits from them. So in terms of punishing it, I'm okay with that, you know? Oh yeah, so I remember this 5 seconds. They had done a different type of kickoff earlier in the game, so I had calmed. I'm not going to cheat in this situation. And I remember the comms are in this. I was saying middle, and then I saw first going very, very quick, so I had doubts. I had doubts when I should be trusting my teammates' comm of middle, and I ended up seeing Unky there, and I just turn away, and then they almost pinch it into our net. So again, in terms of competitive, there is no reason, absolutely zero reason here that I should be turning away from this play, right? Because we're obviously at a single goal deficit, so absolutely no reason I should be turning. But these I'm definitely going to be way more overcritical on myself of, because now we have something to look at, right? We have a baseline of how our game looks versus a pro team's game, and whether or not they were even trying or taking us seriously, that I don't know. But I'm still going to look at these replays and try to build off of it for me and my team. We did end up making day 2 through lowers right after this. We comfortably won our last series. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. My team is going to be playing day 2 today, so wish us the best of luck. Hopefully we can make day 3. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you guys hit that noti bell and join the Discord to stay up to date with when I go live or post. And much love as always. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one or on stream. Peace.